Hi folks, I welcome you all to Chai with Challa by Dr. Challa Krishnamir Abhishek. This is an exclusive presentation by YTTV News Channel where I interview eminent personalities of national importance. So today we have with us an inspiring personality, a motivational speaker, a connoisseur of communications, a top-notch newsreader, a silver-toned Carnatic singer, Srimati Andhra Pradesh awardee, and most importantly, the state official spokesperson of BJP Andhra Pradesh. We have with us Dr. Suhasini Anand Garu. Welcome, ma'am.
Namaste.
Welcome to the show, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Ma'am, your journey is very inspirational. What motivates you? Who is your inspiration?
Yeah, my parents are my inspiration, frankly speaking, because born and brought up in a medium family. Both my mother and father are government officials. My father is a senior audit officer, retired from COG Audit Aegis Office, and my mom, BSNL employee. So from my childhood, I used to think that yes, I should also read and gain good higher qualifications, and I should do some job in an executive mode. So that's only my very small ambition, what everybody used to have. So in that way my journey started.
Wonderful, ma'am. So you're saying that your parents are your inspiration. So who is your driving force when it comes to politics?
Actually, politics is not in my agenda prior, because music was my hobby, and professionally I came across ICWA I did, and being just a homemaker after marriage, I just migrated from Hyderabad and higher studies at Chennai, and later coming to Vishakhapatnam. And compared to Hyderabad and Chennai, this is really a small, cute, developing district. At that time, I used to have, but my job culture is, I used to get so many opportunities in Delhi based and Hyderabad based, which I couldn't go because my husband is a businessman. He's Mr. Anand Komaragiri, and he's placed here. At that time, I have a small kid. I cannot leave him because no one is there to look after him. So at one point of time, every woman will have that, that confusion, because we have to want to do job, we want to go outside, but at the same time, who is there to look after the child? So it's really a mind-boggling situation. And I used to get a highly responsible accounts officer jobs, which nowadays corporate timings 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is not possible for me. Practically, I cannot spare such a big time with leaving my child behind. Nobody is there here in Vishakhapatnam even to look after. My in-laws are somewhere else, and my parents are at Hyderabad. So my husband told me that, yeah, I'm a businessman. So you being educated, why can't you help me so that we both together could, achieve some success in our business? And I thought, yes, it's good thought. And I helped him. We both together, we used to share ideas and we used to encourage each other. And in that way, our business developed. And children, two sons, both are growing. And at one point of time, I, as a women entrepreneur also, I have another enterprise, Sri Abhaya Logistics. I became managing director, and everything I used to do at the simultaneously, I used to do so many service activities. And at one point of time I thought, okay, I became a women entrepreneur, right? But what about the passion what I have in me? And being music in my family, right from my childhood, I used to learn music. And I thought of pursuing my passion also, my hobby. And here in Vishakhapatnam, I my look went towards esteemed organization Andhra University. And of course, it's not a joke to get a seat in Andhra University. And in Andhra University I got a MA Music's seat. And as a regular student to pursue that, I left many things besides me. And very with a lot of challenging situations to complete MA Music, because it's not a joke, masters in music. So On the other side, with profession as my career, and in music exclusive now, after a long time, after a long gap, to gain a qualification in an art field is something different. And with the help of my family and everybody, I could able to complete it. And by the time I completed it, I got a good opportunity in All India Radio as FM announcer. And then when I went there, that is a different arena. And perfect, on time, disciplined, in minding our language and what to speak and what not to speak, and in what the way we present, presentable skills, and so many skills I learned in All India Radio. And so taught me many. And from there, as a compeer, the very first opportunity I got when former President of India, Shri APJ Abdul Kalam, visited
Wow,
once for
wonderful.
fleet review. And at that time, they've inquired All India Radio, who can speak English, and also as a three language formula, I used to speak Hindi also. They have selected me, and in that shock, and I came out. I made a call to my husband. What is this? They have selected me for president's meeting, and he said, "You can, you will do." He said, "That's the encouraging word what I got from my husband." And yes, I just with that program I started, and I interacted with him, and really that started discovering the inner me. And later in so many very extraordinary functions, where eminent dignitaries like Nedanuri Krishnamurti garu and Sivasri Sivananda Murthy garu, and so many Padma Shri awardees and Padma Bhushans and Padma Vibhushans and all on the days, with its music and literary and comparing spoken skills and all mixed blend in that wonderful cultural atmosphere. I did some thousands of programs, and I interviewed eminent personalities
Wow.
on air,
Wow.
with All India Radio, Doordarshan, and outside on the days. So, how can I say my journey is so sweet? When I look back, I always thank God. How could that be possible for me? I question myself, in that way, but very sweetly, step by step, slowly, I marched forward.
Ma'am, I understand that in your journey you have interacted with multiple eminent personalities. So, what is the best memory that you cherish?
When I interacted with Padma Vibhushan Chevalier Dr. Mangalampalli Balamurali Krishna garu, one program was held here in the Port Stadium, 3 days program. And all the 3 days, no, one day is his Swiya Rachanalu, and one day is his classical songs, and the other day film songs. For that day, I am the compere selected for that program to read citation and to invite dignitaries onto the stage. And in every program, I used to say Pradhana Geetam also. I am the only, because as a singer and as a compere, I used to take that and I used to enjoy that. That's my really like passion, what we have in us, So on that day, for one film music, in the selection of the film songs, Salalita Raga Sudharasa Saram from Nartanashala it happened to be a duet.
Wow.
So out of all songs, for a duet, who is going to sing with him? That's a big question what the organizers faced on that day. At that time, Vijay Kumar Garu is such a great person, one of who and all in every step they have encouraged me, given an opportunity, created a platform. So I should definitely remember such sort of personalities. And and he said that why can't Suhasini, they used to look me like their daughter, where he said, yeah, she will speak and she can also sing with him. And I was shocked. Coming to the eligibility criteria, I'm in no way eligible even to stand besides him. But I then thought, God is great. Mother Goddess thought of participating with him, thought of singing with him. So she selected me as an instrument, And
Great.
in that way only I thought, because, as a human, I'm in no way. I can't. I'm not even eligible even to stand besides him. But I am always. Only the thing is yogam, what we say in spiritual way. That it's a really a wonderful opportunity.
Wonderful,
God
ma'am.
created. That's it.
I
That's the
mentioned.
memorable thing which I never forget. For next generations in
That's
my
great.
family, we remember that.
Yes, ma'am. There are some aspects that we cherish forever. So, very beautiful memory, ma'am. So, I understand that you have multidimensional purview. Uh, you are into anchoring, you are into singing, and you are a woman entrepreneur, and also now you're into politics. So, and also you're managing your family. Being a woman, it's very difficult to manage your profession and your personal life. What is your message to the young generation women? Because I see that there's a lot of confusion in their minds. So, what is your message?
One thing what I experienced myself, if we just sit thinking what to do, how to do, and in what way can I proceed, better you start doing it. Automatically, the way comes before you. And in that way, only just simply blindly I started. And step by step, automatically the path is created for me. That in only that I can say. Because when I started, one announcement came like when Srimati Andhra Pradesh, that's a big reality show on Zee Telugu, and it was announced between 18 to 35, and at that time I have two kids. They have to go to the school, and I have to send them and hear some interviews. No, at that time it was combined Andhra Pradesh with 23 districts.
Wow,
And from each district 400 to 500 participated.
my God,
So it's really went on thousands of selections.
very
And
challenging.
yes, here I just went to see how the other ladies are going to be,
Yes,
but what are their talents. I just went to cherish the other women.
yes,
So at that time, I thought of participating, and they told evening only the slot is there for you. Now it's not possible. But I told, see, my son will come for lunch. It's time up because his school by this time he'll be coming. If you give me chance, I'll just 5 minutes. I'll intro myself and I'll go. Otherwise, evening it's not possible for me because again I have to enter into the home activities and all. That's a big circle.
yes.
We cannot come out of it. And finally, what they told is before lunch, just 5 minutes. Okay, ma'am, as you're telling, you just introduce yourself and you leave. Because in 400 participants, they thought that I just, they gave me a chance and I took that. And as simply, superbly, that way I just gave 5 minutes of thing and I came on. And I just removed that thought from my mind. Later, I received a call that I got selected.
Wow.
Wow! I thought that later, semi-finals when I got selected and all on that journey, I thought I should also enter into yoga because physically and mentally I should be fit. So what's that way I can do? Then I used to practice yoga. And in that SMS rounds and everyday episodes they used to telecast. And in that, no, on the way, by the time I got selected to the finals, and this 2 months of yoga practice also completed, and physically and mentally I just go groomed towards that, and I just went there. And finally I got, when I became the winner among thousands of women folk, and I took the crown as Srimati Andhra Pradesh, and I also got an additional award of best communications award.
Wow.
I really, then I started thinking, yes, we can do, we should do. Then five judges before me, and so many rounds, and all the 10 finalists, out of 10 ladies, all 9 took dance as their talent, and I am the only lady who took singing as my
Wow.
talent. And as a medley I planned for 5 to 6 songs.
Wow.
And in that, women empowerment, patriotic, and all that, club,
Yes,
very sweetly, and I sang live on the dais. And so many experiences, Krishnavir, what to tell, so nicely. I enjoyed. I used to take everything as a passion. I used to say everything. I used to enjoy the work what I do, and maybe that also might be the reason for my success.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. So, I also understand that you cleared ICWAI exam, which is very difficult, and also you have a doctorate to your credit. So, what is your take on the present day education system, ma'am, and especially national education policy?
Of course, after 34 long years, in the year 2020, national education policy was revised, focusing on universal to bring universal access to education in all levels. So that is a beautiful system now what we got, and to create a social media, social communications, and everything, always, a pedagogical structure, what we say. That way, new education policy is planned, and which is solicited by many of the educationists all around the world. This sort of structure will definitely uh, is a thought provoking in each person from their childhood to focus on what they want.
Yes, because nowadays the parents are forcing their children to choose these conventional streams like engineering and doctor, and now the students, because of the advent of different multimedia, students are choosing different unconventional fields. So I believe that the new education policy would actually foster this. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, it should be, save model, SAVE. S is support youth. Okay. And A is accept their ideas. That is also an important thing what we need to do for the youth now today. And V is voice. You give a chance for them. Let their voice be heard. That is important. And E is try their entry. So these are the four, I believe in that, because youth should come. They should think definitely about
The main problem I see nowadays with youngsters is actually they are being grinded by the corporate education system, ma'am. So they are actually suffering. They're not enjoying the education. They don't have that emotional connect with the education. So what is your take on this corporate grinding of students?
basically that shouldn't be there, and everything should be expressive, educative, inclusive. Everything they should include, and the perspective of their thinking should be given importance, and that should be the main agenda for their career. So definitely nowadays they are very smart. Youth are very smart, and they are fixing their own goals very early, by seeing their environment. And earlier, as you said, it used to be only medical ground and only engineering thing, but nothing. Now, sky is the limit. So many opportunities are shared in, and we've now in our BJP government, Modi ji is also focusing on many, many issues. We have so many opportunities. Digital
Incubation
India,
centers.
Startup India, Stand Up India. So many schemes are coming forward, and then as a youth have so many opportunities in the Startup India modules, and we have seen,
Yes.
lakhs of youth are getting opportunities in this field.
And also, I've seen a lot of your debates, ma'am, as a spokesperson of BJP. So how can we improve our communication skills, ma'am? Because I see that you have exemplary communication skills. So how can one develop their communication skills?
As far as the communication is concerned, I listen to understand rather than to reply. Because that's also important. We should not be focused on to immediately reply what the others say. We have to first have grip on the subject. And yes, as you said, communication, basically with our education, communication comes, and with some personality development skills. Communication is such a wonderful bridge between confusion and clarity. When one could able to communicate properly, so that is definitely an ornament.
Yes.
We need to develop that. It will not come by birth. You may have some inbuilt talents, but when we uh, cherish and nourish that skill,
That's true.
definitely it comes out. And when the values are added to our communication, that really becomes a wonder. And I think I'm myself is a good example for that, because I mind my language a lot. And of course, the born and brought up values definitely in our family,
Yes.
it definitely paves way for all this, how to talk and all. entering into the political field, most of the youth see the harsh words and all what they face. But I thought, when I entered into the field, we can also achieve anything and everything with dignity, perseverance, persistence, good language we can do. And, even though the other shouts at us, definitely, see, this is in this modus operandi. Everybody will have their own, because these sort of emotional pressures they will have, but one could able to control, the other cannot control. And if we are able to control that emotional pressures, and that's also the way to the success. So in that way, I
That's
believe.
great, ma'am. So people say that politics is synonymous to patriarchy. So being a woman in politics, so what is your journey? How is your journey so far?
As you said, yes, we are heading towards women bill shortly. So that importance to women, of course, it's only on lips, it's only in words, but practically, uh, for a, for any woman, it's not such an easy process to come out, and they have to successfully complete their duties at home, and again they have to come out perform so many duties. And yes, in this male dominated society, I have to say that uh, definitely it's a challenge for a woman to come out. When you have focus on that, you can find your own way to come. But one thing is, a small encouragement can take you to heights, to scale good heights, I believe. And in this, I really thank my family, my children, my sons, Harish and Ashish. They have, right from their childhood and my childhood, my parents, their encouragement and my husband's encouragement. Otherwise, we cannot come out.
That's true, ma'am. Ma'am, you contested in the 2019 AP Assembly elections. So what is your take back?
Actually, 2 weeks just before 2019 elections, I got an opportunity. So many challenges before me. I thought, okay, when opportunity knocks our door, we should definitely make use of it. And yes, uh, that's a good experience for me. But we worked as a team, and excellent work I did in the elections as far as the elections are concerned. And I tried to bring what and all reforms, grants given by Bharatiya Janata Party to our Andhra Pradesh, and I was successful in that. Everything I take it very serious, and I focus on that, and definitely that is a big experience for me for my next political steps.
Wonderful. Ma'am, this is the sentiment of people of Andhra Pradesh. Special status didn't happen. What about special package?
Actually, in 2014, we realized that northeastern states were in the special status stage, right from long years, so many years. But there are some parameters to give the special status. But in spite of being so many years in the special status stage, what did they achieve? That has become a very big question. Our party policy took a decision of not granting any further special statuses. And in spite of that, they have announced special package. It is far more than the special status stage. And now we are far ahead coming towards combo packages itself, because exclusively, even though we have not promised so many, not promised infrastructural plan in that 8,17,000 crores we sanctioned for Andhra Pradesh. We have not mentioned that earlier for in the reorganization structure. Even roadways, railways, and so many funds, and even in the villages, 90% of funds comes from central schemes. And so many schemes, what center has implemented, the state is not implementing here, which is a major loss for our state. And even Polavaram project also, it is 100% central funding. What center is still continuously, the center is towards the welfare of the Andhra people. And even the houses sanctioned, the major stake has been sanctioned for our Andhra Pradesh. So, in what way it is Andhra Center is very much focused towards the development of Andhra Pradesh, and it is for the people of Andhra Pradesh.
Ma'am, in the state, BJP has collaborated with Janasena Party. So, are you projecting Pawan Kalyan as the chief ministerial candidate?
See, actually, Bharatiya Janata Party is in alliance with Janasena. So definitely Janasena and Bharatiya Janata Party are going to move for the next elections. In Bharatiya Janata Party, all decisions as to who to be the candidate, because ours is not a hierarchical party, it is an organization for the country. So here the system is more important, the structure is more important, the formula is more important than the candidate and person. It is not person based politics, it is the policy based political party. So everything is decided in the higher level.
Ma'am, they say that politics is basically for oldsters and not for youngsters, because many old people are in politics and youth are not showing willingness to be part of politics. So, especially in BJP, Modi ji is in his second term currently. And who after Modi? Any youngster or maybe some oldster like Amit Shah?
Actually, capable person. Any person from any level can become a prime minister. For example, from chai wala, Modi ji is the best example in our party, because everybody, any person can come from any category and stage. So that's the beauty of Bharatiya Janata Party. It's not a family based politics. So we can change according to the caliber, charisma, talents, and other skills. Passion towards the India, and we definitely the person who preserves our culture and tradition and values, and who is patriotic towards our nation only, and that sort of wonderful principles are there in our party.
Ma'am, in the state, especially, people say that BJP has soft corner towards YSRCP. So, what is your take on the present day political scenario in Andhra Pradesh?
No, in the last 2 years, when TDP, it targeted Bharatiya Janata Party, and in the later stage, when the YCP government is steadily, supporting beautiful reforms what we brought, and when states government supported us, and the difference is visible. Speculative talk, we cannot rely upon that sort of words.
Ma'am, do you think demonetization was a success? Though it paved way for digital economy, I see that on the ground level, many people suffered, especially lower middle class and poor people. So, what is your take on that?
And definitely, as it should be announced all of a sudden, because to control, to remove a bug from a wound, some pain will be there. So definitely, it's a treatment. So for that, Modi ji also pledged the people of our nation. He pleaded actually, so to give some time to come out of this chaotic situation. So people also cooperated him, and within a 2 months of time, everything has come to normal. But of course, yes, sudden decision of this demonetization, a bit of trouble, of course, people faced. But this definitely paved way for the digital revolution, and UPI platforms, many are started paying, and now we are heading towards 6 lakhs crores of payments through digital. So that's definitely, when see, necessity is the mother of invention. So definitely people immediately plunged towards the digital payments. So that is definitely blessing in disguise. In that way, we avoided some fake notes and one side, and on the other hand, the digital payments and digital revolution, digital media improved, and everything platform we have improved a lot. So that is definitely a success.
Ma'am, they say that BJP is a right wing party where BJP is only for Hindus. Is it true, ma'am? Is BJP also for minority or minority religions?
uh, Hindutva is something that's lifestyle. as to, it is not a, it is better we can name it as a, it's a dharma rather than a religion. See, a lot of freedom is there in this, in this dharma, and there is nothing surefire formula you do as to do this and do that, and so much of freedom we could see in this style, and that too because from ancient heritage, a culture, and right from the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, everything, here some say all sort of sages and all that sort of culture and that soil is here. And so we cannot just attest this name for just only a particular section of people. It's a lifestyle, one that thing only I can say.
Ma'am, when it comes to the southern part of India or southern states, BJP failed to create a mark in most of the states except Karnataka. So, how can BJP strengthen itself in southern states?
It is the people's vote that decides which party to come. Slowly, the people should realize and they should vote for Bharatiya Janata Party. We have created a lot of ground even in the southern states also, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, the percentage of votes increased, and in even Badwell recent Andhra elections also, the percentage increased. Earlier it gained only a 735 votes, and now we got 21,661 votes. And even in Telangana, Huzurabad, we grabbed Huzurabad, one in Dubbaka, and even in GHMC elections also, more than 50% of the corporation seats Bharatiya Janata Party gained. So these are all the symptoms we can see. Yeah, already Karnataka, we are in the government. So that BJP is slowly, it's gaining importance even in southern states also.
Ma'am, will Vizag get special railway zone?
Already we got it. We've, the state government delayed in giving DPR. And immediately when they gave the DPR, we've announced in the month of February 2019, the South Coast Railway Zone was announced. But again, as state government, it will not have any satisfaction. How much ever the state central grants, they have raised some more technical points as to Voltaire division and all. But yes, definitely we take into consideration what and all the points, what state is answering, what state is questioning, and yes, every aspect center will take care, and further steps are being taken to establish in a right way South Coast Railway Zone in Vishakhapatnam.
Ma'am, what is BJP's take on privatization of Vizag Steel Plant?
It's a policy matter, and it's not taken here all of a sudden. In the year 1991 itself, the privatization was started by taking into consideration the global economy. We have mortgaged all our assets with the World Bank. At that time, there is no other go except to go for a privatization. And it is not taken this decision only just by a party. These are all the economists, the specialists, they have suggested us. And G. Ramakrishna, under his chairmanship, in 1986 itself, he has given a report and PSUs which are about to get privatized. In that, Vishaka Steel Plant is also one, and it is listed in the 35th place. So here, of course, is a sentiment and sensitive issue. With for that also, so many alternative solutions are being pursued by the center, and definitely our motto is to increase the production, to update the technology, to improve the efficiency, and those are all the main factors what we need to see as far as the Vizag steel plant is concerned, and definitely it will come out in a beautiful way, successful way.
BJP handled COVID crisis effectively, especially the second wave. Dearth of oxygen cylinders and a lot of other problems, and many lives were lost. So, what is your take on that?
Of course, it's a international pandemic every country faced, and as far as the COVID is concerned, in a very short time, the Indian conditions were not so easy to face such a chaotic situation at that time. But even then, we successfully crossed it, And the first wave, without any awareness as to what to go, where to go, what medicines, no medication, nothing, and how is it coming, and no knowledge about this pandemic. And at that stage itself, we successfully crossed the first wave. And when the second wave has turned out, and people were little bit negligent also, and even though by that time itself, and indigenously in our country itself, we have developed a vaccine, and even that, many of the netizens and all pseudo politicians, and which many people, even in frontline warriors itself, 60% of the frontline warriors did not take any vaccination, and that also was the cause to get the second wave. And really, second wave we faced very seriously, but in spite of all these difficulties, within 2 weeks we came back and we could face the situation successfully, crossing 100 crores of vaccination, free vaccination, and of course it's the world's largest vaccination drive.
Ma'am, do you think that a Statue of Unity was necessary, spending crores of rupees and also building Ayodhya temple? Instead of that, the money can be utilized for the weaker sections. Don't you think, ma'am?
Actually, the thing what nobody knows is, center sanctioned for a statue as per the norms what it should sanction, only that much only, some 300 crores. But most of the funds were raised within the state by the donors, that nobody knew. So it's not the complete project. The center cannot sponsor. Otherwise, why will it come out with the privatization of so many these things? Because less government and more governance is our motto, is our slogan. So too much of government intervention for each and everything is not healthy for the next generations to flourish forward. So in that phase only, the privatization aspect also, and any construction of the statues and everything with the local donors, only it happened. And even in Ayodhya, when PM Cares Fund, through PM Cares, it has created an account. Who all can donate, they can donate. So according to their willing, some have come forward voluntarily to donate, and with that funds itself crossed 1,000 crores. So in what way government is spending on that, you tell me?
Yes.
It just created a ground to do that project. That sort of focus, if anybody has, people are willing to contribute, people are willing to cooperate, people are willing to come forward to do anything. And why can't we make use of that opportunity which the early governments failed to do though? So definitely we achieved, and we are successfully marching forward towards that.
Yes. And regarding CAA, ma'am, it is only including Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, and Sikhs from the neighboring countries. Why not Muslims and Christians? Why that partiality?
The Christians are there.
Yes.
Yes, Christians are also my minority. As far as the Hindus are also minor in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and
Yes, ma'am.
Afghanistan. And so the only thing is, the minorities in these three Islamic Republic countries, why I'm specifically pointing you is, in those three countries especially, Muslims are the majority. So in our country, Muslims are very happily living in our country, and they're not facing any problems. So those Muslim community which are already in our country, they have all facilities and they can live and they have no problem at all. And so as far as the Citizenship Amendment Act is concerned, it is only pertaining to the problems faced by the minorities who are named as the Hindus, Sikhs, Persians, and Christians also, and Sikhs, and all are facing the problems in the other countries. So for them to facilitate them to come into our country, and those are already living in our country, there are those who are not having any status, any citizenship status, for to facilitate them itself, this CAA Act has come. So it is not, it is to help the minorities of these 5 sections in the other countries, and to also protect the Muslims in our country. So this is not the problem of Muslims. So when there is any problem for Muslims, we can include the Muslim community in that. But Muslims are no way have any problem in all these 3 countries. So that question itself should not rise. It's only a political agenda.
Ma'am, In these 7.5 years, what do you think are the milestone achievements of BJP?
Yeah, 7 years, 7 milestones we can say. Abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, triple talaq, GST, Goods and Services Tax Act, and demonetization, Ram Mandir. Since a long pending issue of 500 years, nobody could solve that issue. So many, digital revolution. India is from fragile five, it moved towards top six as far as the world map is concerned. We are competing with the superpowers. So, what else we need to achieve in 7 years? We have come forward. We have given hope, that belief to the crores of youth in our country. And now they got the confidence that, yes, India is great. India is doing, India is developing. My God, India is competing with other countries. And even the people, youth who are living in the superpower nations also are looking now towards our country. They want to establish something in our country. What else we need? That thought itself is great to feel. We are heading towards Vishwaguru place. And definitely achievements, what we can say is, in the Britain summit, Modi ji got selected as the general president. So that's the biggest of the big achievements. And in Aikya Rajya Samiti also, in Modi ji is given very much good importance. And wherever we go, now world is looking at us.
Yeah.
So everybody knows now India. Yes, Indian is very intelligent. Yes, we cannot compete with India, and India is it's a treasure of knowledge. It's a treasure of values. It's a treasure of capabilities. Youth. Most of the youth, 60% of our country is youth.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So it was a wonderful experience for me and also for our audience at large. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. So, folks, that was Dr. Suhasini Anand Garu. See you in the next episode of Chai with Challa.